Startups are hard.
Yeah. Startups are hard. That might be the title of the episode right there. Startups are hard. And so as it was going, what convinced you to leave the business law, the side you'd been doing for a decade, to join Delivery Kitchen startup as their in-house counsel?
Yeah, well, he talked me into it. They were doing well.
And Chris is going out to kind of expand the team?
Yeah, so he just landed $10 million in funding that summer, and I joined in December of that same year, and the role was to come in-house counsel and help with their leases and negotiations and all the contracts and employment law and all the things that come with building quickly.
And how long did you spend as the outside or the inside counsel before you started to kind of rise the ranks? That eventually, to jump to the end, is like you ended up becoming the CEO, but how long was that journey through the inner workings of ClusterTruck?
Well, I've been there since December of 2017, so maybe every year there was just added responsibility, and I kept saying yes instead of no, so here I am.
And then there is a big inflection point where Chris steps away from being the CEO, and you succeeded him, correct?
Yeah, that was about a year and a half ago, and he wanted to focus more on Tyner Pond Farm. And
it's out in Greenfield, right?
Yes, it is.
That's like a whole experience too, right?
Yeah.
You have to go out and visit. That's a great, I think we've got that a
it.
few times as like a hidden gem that people have shared.
Yeah, they're raising animals the right way with sustainable farming. So if you know anything about the food industry, it's something that, Chris and his wife are passionate about, and they're providing something unique here for Indiana.
Yeah. And so a year and a half ago, he steps out to go focus more on Tyner Pond Farms, and you end up becoming the CEO.
Yes.
What was kind of the reasoning behind, this is the thing that I want to go in and go from being an attorney and focusing on, obviously adding more responsibility over the last 7 years to be like at the helm of the ship?
It was quite a shift. As counsel, and it was a gradual procession, coming into the CEO role. But, as an attorney, you're on the outside, you're giving advice, you leave a decision up to your client to make the choices. And, now as a CEO, the buck stops here, right? Like, the choices are mine, and this is how we're moving forward. And you take on all of that full responsibility. We have over 100 investors in our company, and I want to make sure that they do well in the end. So building ClusterTruck and building something big in the Midwest, and that is changing the food delivery industry, I think is something exciting. It's unique and innovative, and I think we can do it. Like, we've had 9 years of experience in this industry. It's been hard, but we've learned a lot of lessons over that time, and we've really honed in on a business model that works. It's profitable, and if entrepreneurs want to come along and open up a ClusterTruck, we can show them the way.
Right. And so you're talking about the lessons learned over the last 9 years. And that original business model of going and owning the kitchen completely, doing all the marketing, implementing the software. I think if you look on this, it's like you have Kansas City, you have downtown Indianapolis, you have like the Broad Ripple area, and a few other locations outside of Indianapolis, correct?
Columbus, Ohio, and our Castleton kitchen here serves Carmel and Fishers as well.
Oh, yeah. I love that. So when you think about those lessons, and now I know you guys are opening up a franchising kind of, that's like what's driving growth for the business model, correct?
Yes.
Right? So what were the lessons that led you to be like, oh, the franchising model is the right way for us to go?
Well, in the restaurant industry, it's all about unit economics. It's about getting your labor right and the cost of food right. And for us, where we deliver, 95% of our orders, you got to get that delivery cost right. So the delivery cost for us is easy. The software makes it seamless. It makes sense for our drivers. What's unique about us is that, customers have to come to the curb. That's so huge for our drivers, since they don't have to park and find where you are working in an office building or in an apartment. So it really makes it efficient for them. They're able to do 4 to 6 deliveries in an hour, and they get 100% of the tips. So it really works well for them, and they're able to make a living pretty much autonomously, because we don't schedule them either. They show up when they want to work, and then they go home when they're done. So that component of delivery cost is easy. Labor is something we worked really hard on this past year, and it's just getting our systems and processes right in the kitchen, making sure that we're prepping correctly, making, the lives of our line cooks easier, during midday and dinner when it's the busiest.